Welcome everyone, bienvenidos. This is track numero ocho. Okay, let's begin.
What was again the word then for it, or for him, or for you formal?
Lo.
Lo. If we make this feminine, so we
La.
change the o to an a, and we're going to see other examples of this way of making something feminine in Spanish, we get la, and this means her, it, a feminine thing. So objects as well, well, not objects. Objects don't have gender. When people speak about languages that have gender, they tend to think that the object has the gender, but it's not the object, it's the word. You might have two words for the same object, and one might be masculine and one might be feminine. So it's the word. A feminine word, for example, usually are ones that end in a, so like casa, house. If you want to say, I want to see it, and with this it, you mean the house. What do you think you will say? I want to see it.
Quiero verla.
Good. Quiero verla. Now, what else could that sentence mean, other than I want to see?
What else can that sentence mean? If lo means it or him, quiero verla. Lo, quiero verlo. Quiero verlo. I want to see him, or I want to see it. Okay?
It's the feminine thing. What else could it mean?
Oh, it could also mean I want to see her.
Yes, exactly. So we get quite a few meanings just with this little lo and adding an s to it, or changing the o to an a. We actually get a lot of options. La could mean her, and it also could mean you formal talking to a female. So you could be saying, I want to see you formally. Now, where you use the formal language and the informal language really depends on the dialect. So the safe way is to go in with the formal and to see what happens and to see how people address you and see how people address each other in this context, and you can adjust accordingly. For example, in Spain, when you meet somebody, when you go into a shop and you meet somebody for the first time, with the exception of kind of young peers, the common thing is to begin speaking formally. If I compare this to Buenos Aires, for example, in Argentina, it's almost never used, this formal way of addressing people. In fact, it's used more often to insult somebody with an extra.
Argentina, being formal is used to make fun or insult someone. Interesting. In Spain, initially when encountering others, you would speak formally. Different places, different customs.
Layer of sarcasm or irony, let's say, that it's actually used sincerely to be formal. So it really depends on the place you want to go and see. But to play safe, you can use the formal, which would be lo or la, speaking to a male or to a female, lo, la instead of te. Quiere means he wants, she wants, it wants, or you formal want. We can see that these four, they band together, not just in words like lo and la, but in the verbs as well. We saw it with s, that s means it is, she is, he is, you formal are. So they will band together. Quiere means he wants, she wants,
Quiere.
it wants, you formal want.
Quiere. It wants, she wants. It wants, she wants, he wants, and you formal wants. Quiere. Quiero. I want, quiere, he, she, it, or you formal.
How would you say you want to visit me?
Quiere visitarme. Quiere visitarme.
Quiere visitarme.
Good. Quiere visitarme. You want to visit me. Now, if you want to make that a question, in English, these people do you want, but in Spanish, you won't do anything like that. In Spanish, you will just make it sound like a question with your voice. So, how would you say, do you want to visit me?
Quiere visitarme.
Good. Quiere visitarme. How would you say you don't want to visit me?
No quiere visitarme.
No quiere visitarme.
How you sound?
Make it a question with the tone of your voice. quiere visitarme? No quiere visitarme?
You certainly said that. No quiere visitarme. Now, if you want to say, don't you want to visit me? Again, English gets really complicated there, but not Spanish. So, don't you want to visit me?
Don't you want to visit me? It's not the same. No quiere visitarme. Trying to pronounce the V's. I hear them. She's saying visitar. I learned that the V's are pronounced with a light V, so I'm attempting to pronounce it with the light V's. Visitar, visitarme. No quiere visitarme.
No quiere visitarme.
Good. No quiere visitarme. You could add the word for why. The word for why is por qué. Por qué.
qué?
¿Por qué?
It's actually the word for because as well.
Por
So,
qué?
why don't you want to visit me?
¿Por qué no visitarme? ¿Por qué no visitarme?
¿Por qué no quiere visitarme?
Good. ¿Por qué no?
¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no? I don't. You want. ¿Por qué no quiere visitarme? Let's rewind that there.
As well. So, why don't you want to visit me?
¿Por qué no quiere
visitarme.
visitarme?
Good. ¿Por qué no quiere visitarme? The verb for to come is venir.
Venir.
So, of course, you could hear the, like I just pronounced for you, so you won't get the spelling venir, but more
Venir.
commonly you would hear venir, venir, like a soft
Venir.
V. Firstly,
Venir.
let's say, do you want to come?
Do you want to come? Quiere. Quiere venir. Quiere venir.
Quiere venir.
Good. Quiere venir.
Quiere
A nice way to
venir.
remember venir, actually, is conveniente, convenient, with coming, where things come together. Or if you ever heard
Convenient.
welcome in Spanish, you might have heard bienvenido, or
Bienvenido. Bienvenido.
bienvenida, bienvenidos, bienvenidas. Literally the same as welcome. Well is bien, and come there we have a venido, it's a different version of venir. So, venir to come. If you want to say the
Venir.
house, it's la casa.
La
La
casa.
casa.
What was to?
A.
Ah,
What is to the house?
A la casa. To the house. A la casa. But when two and the is next to each other, I believe it turns into al.
a la casa.
Good.
A la casa.
Do you want to come
A
to the
la
house?
casa.
Quiere.
Do you want to come to the house? Quiere venir. Quiere venir to come to the house, a la casa. Quiere venir a la casa.
Do you want to come to the house?
Quiere venir a la casa.
Quiere venir a la casa.
Good. How would you say, do you want to come to visit me? Do you want to...
Quiere venir visitarme. Do you want to come venir? Do you want to come visit me? Visitar me. Quiere
to
venir
visit me?
visitarme.
Quiere venir a visitarme.
Good. Don't you want to come to visit me?
No quiere venir
No quiere
visitarme.
venir a visitarme.
Ah, visitar. To come. Quiere. Do you want? Quiere venir a visitarme. To come. That's a. I recall it saying like a verb of motion. The a will go after. So Quiere venir. Venir, to come, is a verb of motion, so the is after it. Quiere venir a visitarme.
No quiere venir a visitarme. What was the word for why?
¿Por qué?
Venir. While I was saying venir, I don't know why I thought it was an ER at the end. Someone commented it's V-E-N-I-R. Venir. Interesting. No quiere venir a visitarme.
Why don't you want to come to visit me?
¿Por qué no quiere visitarme?
¿Por qué no quiere venir a visitar?
Venir. Interesting. Why don't you want to come visit me? ¿Por qué no quiere? ¿Por qué no quiere? Why don't you want to come venir? ¿Por qué no quiere venir to come a visitarme? Okay, let's take that back a moment and press play. Oh, speaker. And my light. Let's get that back on.
Powering on. Welcome to Alltech Lansing.
It is back up and running. Oh, one moment. Get this light back on.
Like venir a, when we're connecting to a to form.
Voila.
The word for I old in Spanish is debo. Debo.
Alright.
Debo.
Take it back a couple of seconds here and let's continue.
Venir a visitarme.
No quiere venir a visitarme.
Very good. ¿Por qué no quiere venir a visitarme? Good. And of course here we're using a because we have venir, a verb of coming and going, like boy, a, venir a, when we're connecting to a to form. The word for I owe
I kind of
in Spanish,
passively listened to that. I'm
Debo.
going to hear that point
a verb
again.
of coming and going,
Coming
like
and going.
boy.
That's what I
a,
was talking
no
about earlier.
quiere venir a visitarme.
Venir. Venir a
And of course here we're
visitarme.
using a because we have venir, a verb of coming and going, like boy, a,
Boy,
venir a, when we're connecting to a to form.
venir a.
The word for
Boy,
I owe
venir.
in Spanish is debo.
Debo.
The English word debt, which is spelled D-E-B-T, has this B from debo. It comes from there. We don't pronounce it in English, of course, but this word is from Latin. And debo.
Oh, my speaker really just keeps going out. When that goes out, my light goes out. See what I can do here. I'll let it play from computer and my light. I have an idea.
Must identify it.
Debo, identify.
Alright,
Identification,
Good.
this light
identificación,
place it here.
identificar.
Very good.
So it's debo identificarlo.
Alright,
Debo
light back on.
identificarlo. I must, or I
Let's
ought
turn his
to
volume up here.
identify them. I must identify them.
Debo identificarlos.
Good.
Just
Debo
as good.
identificarlos. What if they were feminine things? What changes
just
in
up.
frequency?
Going up.
Las.
Good.
Debo identificarlas.
Good.
Alright. Finish out that video strong.
Debo, identify.
Hmm.
Identification,
The meaning of I must continue. So how would you
There
say
we
that?
are.
I must continue.
Debo,
Debo, I must. Okay. Debo, I must continue. Debo continuar. Did you say I must continue it? Let's hear what the student says.
How would you say I must identify it?
I must identify it. Debo identificarlo. Identify. Identificarlo. Debo identificarlo. Let's go with that.
identify.
Hmm.
Identification,
Good.
identificación,
Very good.
identificar.
Very good.
So it's
Identificar.
debo identificarlo.
Good. Debo identificarlo. I must or I ought to identify them. I must identify them.
Debo identificarlos.
Los, them. So, lo, singular, los, plural. Debo identificar los.
Good. Debo identificarlos. What if they were feminine things? What change do you think you would see?
Debo identificarlas.
Las.
Good.
Debo identificarlas.
Good. To know.
Alright. Well, that was a little bit hectic with the speaker and the light going out, but made it work. This is all unedited, so it is what it is. Track numero 8 finished, and until next time, adios amigos.